After Shyne, Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City earlier this week, the music mogul is being held in pretrial detention at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Remanded into federal custody after a judge denied him bail amid his indictment on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution, Diddy, 54, will be housed within a special housing unit, according to a report by CNN that was published on Tuesday, September 17. The outlet added that Diddy will remain in this unit, which is separate from the general prison population and is used to protect inmates who require additional protection, until his next appearance in court, which is scheduled for Wednesday, September 18. The Daily Beast also reported that the Metropolitan Detention Center is plagued by chronic understaffing, constant lockdowns, outbreaks of violence, delayed access to medical care, and a rash of suicides and deaths. Diddy, who has pleaded not guilty to each of the charges, will be one of approximately 1,600 inmates being held within the facility, according to the Daily Beast. It has temporarily held high-profile people in the past, including R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted of sex trafficking involvement in her former boyfriend Jeffrey Epstein's sexual assault crimes. Maxwell pleaded not guilty to 6 charges lodged against her and was convicted on all but one. According to Spectrum News NY1, a man named Uriel White was killed inside the Metropolitan Detention Center on June 7. The outlet reported that the man had been held at the facility for about 2 years, awaiting trial on gun charges. The incident was allegedly followed by a lockdown, one of several that have occurred at the center, later that month. The outlet reported that a detainee named Eli told them at the time, "So right now, we're experiencing a lockdown where essentially, we come out of our cell every 3 days for a 15-minute shower. You're literally in solitary confinement when you shouldn't be." He continued, "It's very violent. There's stabbings at least a couple times a week." Diddy's lawyers, Mark Agnifilo and Tenny R. Garrigus, cited the incident within their bail proposal, obtained by Deadline, and added that at least 4 inmates have died by suicide there in the past 3 years. His lawyers also noted that the facility has been described in the past as dreadful, noting that the issues with food contamination and hazardous physical conditions were an ongoing tragedy. Diddy was taken into custody on Monday, September 16, and a grand jury indicted him amid his multiple sexual assault lawsuits in a federal investigation. He was indicted 1 day after his arrest. Widow of inmate killed at Diddy's detention center warns him, "Don't trust anybody inside facility." Ashley Cordero, whose late husband, Edwin Cordero, was killed in July while detained at the same facility where Diddy is being held, is speaking out about the poor, dangerous conditions of the detention center, and warns the music mogul to be careful. "The prison is disgusting. They have rats running through there and everything," Ashley exclusively tells Us Weekly. "It's disgusting inside. My husband used to sit there and say it was nasty that rats were everywhere. No human being should be living like that at all. No human being should live that way. You're not an animal, you're still a human." Ashley says that she still doesn't know much about what led to her husband's shocking death, which took place after he was fatally injured in a fight at the detention center. "They aren't giving me much information. It's under investigation," she says. "All they told me was it was a brawl and that he was stabbed in the upper part of his chest." Given her experience with how violent the Metropolitan Detention Center can be, Ashley's advice for Diddy is to keep to himself and not trust anybody. He should try to transfer to a different prison. "My husband died in there. That prison is no good," Ashley warns. "Honestly, him getting denied bail, you got to suck it up and be in prison, but try to transfer. That prison is obviously not safe. If so many are complaining, that says something." Last month, federal court judge Gary Brown threatened to vacate the sentence of a man convicted of a tax scam if he were sent to MDC due to dangerous, barbaric conditions at the jail, per the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. He cited violent incidents, including the one that led to Edwin's death. These incidents demonstrate a woeful lack of supervision, a breakdown of order, and an environment of lawlessness that constitute unacceptable, reprehensible, and deadly mismanagement, Brown wrote in court documents. Diddy's Monday, September 16, arrest came amid his multiple sexual assault lawsuits in a federal investigation. Among the document's shocking details were claims that Diddy hosted freak-offs, which were elaborate and produced sex performances, allegedly orchestrated using force, threats of force and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers. Diddy and the alleged victims received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use after the acts, the documents claim. Former Bad Boy rapper Moses Shyne Barrow speaks out after Diddy Combs arrest. When I was an 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and be recognized for my talent and take over the world. I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. He pretty much sent me to prison, Barrow alleged of Diddy during a recent press conference in Belize. Barrow was convicted of first-degree assault for a New York City shooting in 1999 which left 3 people injured. Combs was also accused of the shooting, but said during his trial that he fired the gun in self-defense. He was acquitted of all charges. In 2001, Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He was released in 2009 and deported back to Belize. Barrow, who now serves as the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives, said he forgave Diddy and has moved on. Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are, he continued. This is not someone who I vacationed with and someone who I enjoyed this great, intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life, and who I forgave, and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize because he was in the position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and bring the contributions to education. He added, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.